and I don't know if he could shoot me and kill me. Like,
were you afraid for your life at that time?
I was really scared because I had never been shot at before.
2 years ago, Megan Thee Stallion's intimate friend tried to take her life by shooting her. Today, she stands victorious and he faces prison. A long battle for justice ended when a jury recently found rapper Tory Lanez guilty of shooting hip-hop star Megan Thee Stallion that left her wounded with bullet fragments in her feet. But this story goes back years before this and involves lies, betrayals, scandals, violence, and in the end, a shocking murder attempt. The tragic tale of Tory and Megan is a wild roller coaster ride that may have finally reached its conclusion. A Los Angeles jury has found Tory Lanez guilty of shooting rapper Megan Thee Stallion in the feet in the summer of 2020, concluding nearly 2 weeks of tense trial with 3 felony convictions: assault with a semi-automatic handgun, carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence. Throughout the course of the trial and leading up to it, Lanez, a Canadian whose legal name is Daystar Peterson, adamantly denied the allegations against him and pleaded not guilty. He now faces more than 20 years in prison and potential deportation. Since the shooting, both Megan, whose legal name is Megan Pete, and Lanez have shared allegations on social media, and misinformation about the case has spread widely. The New York Times reports that Lanez's sentencing will take place on January 27th. Let's run down how we got here in the first place. In July 2020, Megan was seen getting into a police car with bloody feet, and she was taken to the hospital. Reports initially suggested that she had sustained injuries from broken glass and had been arrested after a night of partying with friends. It was later reported that Lanez, who was also in the car, was arrested for possession of an unregistered firearm. A few days later, Megan claimed in a since-deleted Instagram post that she had suffered gunshot wounds to her feet as a result of a crime that was committed against me and done with the intention to physically harm me. At the time, she did not specify who had shot her. During an Instagram Live in August 2020, Megan claimed it was Lanez who shot her. Though she did not initially tell police that she had been shot, she explained that, in the moment, she hadn't trusted the police to protect her.
Why the fuck would I tell the laws somebody got a gun in this car and this nigga shot me? So I can get shot, you can get shot, she can get shot, he can get shot. I ain't tell the police what happened immediately right then because I didn't want to die.
Following her accusation, Lanez denied the allegations. In an Instagram Live video, he cast doubt on whether or not Megan had been shot in the first place, and floated the idea that even if she was shot, she couldn't have seen who was shooting if she had been walking away from the car at the time of her injuries. Lanez was officially charged in October 2020 with 1 count of assault with a semi-automatic firearm and 1 count of carrying an unregistered weapon. According to the charges, he, Megan, and 2 other individuals were driving in the Hollywood Hills when an argument broke out. Eventually, the car stopped and Megan got out, which is when Lanez allegedly fired several shots at her feet. Later, Megan posted images of texts she claims Lanez sent her the day after the shooting. The texts include one that appears to have been sent on the night of July 12th that reads, "I genuinely want you to know I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart." At the time of his arrest, Lanez also reportedly called Megan's friend, saying, "What happened, happened already. I can't take it back. I'm just telling y'all I'm sorry." Lanez appeared to respond on Twitter, writing, "Good dick had me fucking 2 best friends, and I got caught. That's what I apologized for. It's sick how you spun it, though." Lanez's attorney, Sean Hawley, claimed that it was Megan and her former friend and assistant, Kelsey Nicole Harris, who were fighting on the night of the shooting, and suggested that Lanez fired the gun to protect Megan from Harris. Both Harris and Megan denied this version of events. In an April interview with CBS Morning's co-host Gayle King, Megan detailed the shooting publicly for the first time.
It was an argument because I was ready to go and everybody else wasn't ready to go. But that's like normal friend stuff. Like,
When things escalated, Megan claimed she got out of the car, and that's when the shooting started.
so I get out the car and it's like everything happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming, he said, "Dance, bitch." And he started shooting and I'm just like, oh my God.
Megan clarified that Lanez was standing up over the window shooting and said she was afraid to move too quickly to get away.
I don't know if he can shoot something that's like super important. I don't know if he could shoot me and kill me. Like,
Describing the physical shock of being shot, she said, "The adrenaline is pumping so hard. I'm not sure if he hit me. I feel it, but I don't understand what's happening. So I looked down at my feet. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm really bleeding." In the interview, Megan again denied Lanez's claims that the two had a sexual relationship prior to the incident, telling King that they were close friends who bonded over the deaths of their mothers. In the immediate aftermath of the shooting, Megan claimed Lanez apologized to her and Harris, offering them $1 million in exchange for their silence. 1 week before the trial started, prosecutors added another charge against Lanez, discharging a firearm with gross negligence, to which he pleaded not guilty. Opening statements began on December 12th. During opening statements, the prosecution shared plans to bring in texts and voicemails allegedly sent by Lanez, including the one Megan previously claimed he sent her apologizing. The prosecution also shared texts allegedly sent by Harris to Megan's bodyguard minutes after the shooting, including one that read, "Tory shot Meg." The prosecutor also claimed that Megan and Lanez got into an argument after she questioned his musical talent, which eventually escalated to the shooting. The defense painted a different picture. Lanez's attorney, George McDessian, said in his opening statement that the incident actually began due to an argument between Megan and Harris. McDessian claims that Harris was mad about an intimate relationship between Megan and Lanez. The defense attorney also reportedly alleged that Megan and Harris previously argued over romantic entanglements with DaBaby and Ben Simmons, and claimed that Megan and Harris had a physical fight at the scene of the shooting. McDessian claimed that Lanez's apology to Megan via phone call from jail was not for the shooting, but for cheating on her. McDessian also claimed that Lanez's DNA was not found on the gun, and suggested that Harris could have been the shooter. Megan testified that Lanez offered her $1 million not to tell anyone he shot her. Megan also explained why she initially denied having a sexual relationship with Lanez. "This whole story was about who I'm having sex with, and I don't understand why that matters," she said, explaining that she was embarrassed. "It's disgusting at this point. How can I share my body with somebody who could shoot me?" Megan did not immediately tell the police that she had been shot, a decision she explained again on the stand. "At the time, we are at the height of police brutality," she explained. "I felt like if I said this man has just shot me, they might shoot first and ask questions later." She added that she didn't feel safe with the police officers. Megan also told the court that she hesitated to speak about the shooting for fear that it might hurt her career. The rapper also told the jury how difficult it has been for her to be turned into some kind of villain, saying that it has messed up my whole life, and testified that 2 years later, she continues to have nerve damage. "I can't really feel the side of my left foot," she said. "The back of my feet are always sore, but I just push through it." During her testimony, Megan said that she regretted coming forward about the shooting. After a long and grueling trial, jury deliberations finally began on December 22nd. After almost 7 hours of deliberation, jurors returned Lanez's guilty verdict on December 23rd, and the rapper, who had been free on bail following a period of house arrest, was immediately taken into custody. Though Lanez reportedly showed no reaction as the verdict was read, his father, Sunstar Peterson, leapt up and shouted, "This wicked system stands judged before God Almighty," and called two prosecutors evil, wicked people. An attorney for Lanez noted that the rapper's legal team will be exploring all options, including an appeal. Meanwhile, District Attorney George Gascon praised Megan for coming forward with her initial allegations. "You showed incredible courage and vulnerability with your testimony, despite repeated and grotesque attacks that you did not deserve," he said in a statement. "You faced unjust and despicable scrutiny that no woman should ever face." Click on one of the two videos on your screen right now.